Hi, folks. This is YouTube / at Tramp Traveler with the much anticipated Who is at Tramp Traveler. I'm sitting in front of my 2011 Ford E450 shuttle bus with a lot of road noise. I live on a state highway, so hopefully you can bear with it. Got my lapel mic on and got my cat head on it. Kitten head, what do they call them? Dead kitten. So we shouldn't get too much wind noise, but luckily we got some breeze out here because it's beastly hot and humid. I'm in the center of Michigan, and it only got down to 70 last night, and I don't have air conditioning in my house, so it was beastly hot in there, and I get by. I'm not too complaining, but you'll hear my kitty cat in the background. She always likes a little bit of attention here. Hey, kitty. Her name is Kiki. I've also got a Chihuahua. His name is Harley. He come from a person who had a Harley who used to carry him around underneath his inside of his coat. And cat, get out of here! Come on, hitting my tripod. And so I got him the Harley rider named his dog Harley. So that makes some sense, right? Come on, move, skadoodle. I don't have a very strong tripod here. Anyway, who is at Tramp Traveler? Well, my name is Doug. I'm 72 years old. I live off of Social Security. I'm a handicapped Army veteran, not handicapped from the service, just old and handicapped. And I'm building out this 2011 shuttle bus into a handicap capable camper with lots of standing room. I'll show you some pictures of the outside of it here after I've talked for a while. But you came to this video to see who is at Tramp Traveler. Excuse me. I was born in Michigan, lived here most of my life, grew up on a pig farm. My dad was, he worked for the post office sorting mail on trains and buses. So he wasn't home very much. He'd be gone 9 days and home 5. And when he was home, he'd do the field work where me and my older brother had to do all of the chores for 200 hogs per year. And that's a lot of work, lifting those bags of feed and oftentimes having to carry water all the way from the house for 200 hogs. Hot of summer, cold of winter, cleaning barn, getting the truck ready with corn to be taken to the feed mill, loading hogs, having to do chores morning and night, having to go to country school smelling like pigs because that's just the way it was back then. Nobody cared or noticed because they all smelt like something. But we lived out in the country. I can't say I had a bad life. It was a good life. We got to do what we wanted when it was summertime. We ride bikes all over the place. When I was 17, I just graduated from high school and already had a girlfriend and a car. I'd been working on a dairy farm and saved enough money to pay cash for a car. And we were going to get married after she got out of school. She was a year behind me. So we did. And about a year later, we had our first child. And just after that, I got drafted. Well, I'd been a cement truck driver. So they wanted me to get inside of my cement truck drum and air hammer out all of the concrete. By the time I got done with that after 2 days, I was stone deaf. 2 weeks later, I had to go down to Detroit for my physical for the Army. And just then my hearing returned. So I didn't have any deferments. Went to Fort Dix, New Jersey for both basic training and AIT. And then they shipped me over to Germany, which was a good thing because they're starting to pull guys out of Vietnam. So the choices were Germany or Korea, South Korea. And in South Korea, you couldn't take your family. So luckily, I got Germany and was able to take my wife and child to Germany. We lived off post about 7 miles. I was a field wireman for the 7th Cavalry, meaning climbing telephone poles and stringing commo wire and setting up switchboards and phones and stuff like that. And I was up on top of the headquarters company building, pulling in old commo wire that was dead, and a lot of traffic. Saturday, people are going places for vacation, I guess. Anyway, I climbed in on one of the dormers on a battalion draftsman, and I said, "Man, I could do your job," because I'd had 3 years of high school drafting. This was back before computers. And so he says, "Well, go down in the first floor down there and talk to them because they're looking for a draftsman." So I went down there, and lo and behold, I got the job. So I switched over from the 7th Cavalry in Germany to the 1st Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division, still in Germany. And instantly, because I was a brigade draftsman, I was in charge of that battalion draftsman upstairs. Cool job, easy job, loved that job. Wait for that truck to go by. Anyway, they gave me a truck with a box on it with more drafting tools in that so I could go to the field with them. Only had to go to the field twice, only camped out one time because I really wanted to. This was in 1972, and I was drafted. 3 days after I got drafted, they quit the draft. Talk about luck. Anyway, I served from 72 to 74, came back home, got a job as a custodian in the school that I'd gone to when I was a child, and worked there for 4 years. You couldn't buy a job because all the guys had come home from Vietnam already, and all the jobs were taken up. But this was federally funded program, so I wrote it out for the 4 years that they funded me. Then I got a job as a tractor supply company manager trainee, and after a month and a half of a 6-month training period, they sent me down to Three Rivers, Michigan to take over the store, and I didn't know hardly anything yet. And but I succeeded in that. I did that for 6 years, and then got kind of tired of that because they didn't pay a lot, and got a job as a maintenance man in a plastics plant down there, and started rebuilding their machinery. They had a lot of old injection molding machines, and after a year of that, they'd already trained me in injection molding, the controlling and making parts and stuff. And my sister-in-law says, "Why don't you come on back home? They're looking for a general foreman up where she worked," and that was right near home. And so I went up. My boss down there in Three Rivers actually gave me a written recommendation. So I went up there. I'd never been a foreman of a plant before, but I got hired. I mean, I had a lot of mechanical experience by then, being a farm boy and working for a year building these machines. And so they hired me, and I did that. I worked in plastics for 15 years in management and in maintenance supervision, maintenance, all that. Build a factory at one of the plants that I worked at for them, just managed the contractors. And let's see. Um, After that, then I got a job building factories, working for a foundry company who made foundry equipment. And I started traveling all over the United States building factories, just managing the contractors, and either building the total factory or just retrofitting a factory, gutting it out, putting new equipment in there. And that was a fantastic job. But after 30 years of marriage, my first wife decided that she'd had it and found a boyfriend at her work, and she left me. I was working down in Mexico at the time. I had a year-long job down there of a total factory build, $14 million factory. This was back in 1999 and 2000. And I'd already had several jobs that I'd done in Canada, just driving back and forth. But in Mexico, of course, I was flying all over the place. In the United States, flying all over the place, coming home every other weekend. That was her big gripe, is I just wasn't home enough. Anyway, so she left me. I finished out that job. Back then, 2000, the economy crashed quite bad, and everybody quit building factories. So I had a few service jobs that they sent me around on, and they taught me AutoCAD drafting. So I started pulling paper drawings out of drawers and reproducing them on AutoCAD. And they hung on to me. There was three of us that were building factories. They got rid of the other two before I even came back to Michigan. And they hung on to me for a year. And finally, the economy hadn't gotten any better, so they had to let me go. And by then I had a new girlfriend, so I moved over to Flint with her, and immediately got a job at the Flint Cultural Center as an operations manager. Again, my mechanical skills and stuff like that were what won me that job, and business management. But so I did that for like 6 years, and then by then I was basically ready to retire. Uh, so here I am now. I built out a cargo trailer camper, just a small one, 5x10, all the way out. Windows, hickory flooring, solar, batteries, countertops, brand new stove, refrigerator, microwave, toaster oven, you name it, it was in there. And bought a van to tow it with. Bought a 2006 E350 Ford cargo van, which the contractor who had it before me had insulated it with spray foam insulation. And I installed a generator in there that I could pull out on a tray and could spin it around to do the oil changes on it, stuff like that. My intentions were to put the batteries, some new batteries in that, along with the batteries that were already in the trailer, and be able to park the van out in the sun with its solar and send the electricity back to the trailer, which would be underneath some shade trees. But I'd also be able to just leave the trailer and go into town for groceries. And my full intentions were, of course, to boondock 2 weeks at a time. And that's what my idea still is to boondock 2 weeks at a time. I got a little bit afraid about taking that trailer down some of the trails by following the weather up into the mountains and stuff like that, and not be able to turn the thing around. I wouldn't be able to muscle it around. So I just dropped that idea and started all over again with this shuttle bus. And I've had the shuttle bus now for a year, and but I wasn't really able to do anything with it because my dad was really sick. He was 92, then he was 93, and turned out being bedridden. So I really didn't have the time to work on this. So I was just basically saving money to be able to get into this once he passed. And he passed a little over 2 months ago. And that freed me up to get to work on this. So I jumped right into it. And I hired a couple of high school kids to come out and tear out all the seats, and started from there. I've done some building on the inside of it with one of the two kitchen counters, the bed frame, which is in the rear, and installed a 36-gallon water tank, 28-gallon diesel fuel tank, which the fuel for that will fuel a heater, a diesel heater. I don't know if you know what that is, but look it up. They're pretty incredible. Anyway, that fill port on that is right above my gas port on the outside of this. And then the water tank is on the other back corner, and that fills on the passenger side of the bus, where most of them do. Anyway, I had last fall done some painting on this. It was originally dial-a-ride shuttle bus, which is a good thing because dial-a-ride, they started up maybe twice a day, go around, pick up people that they've made appointments for, and they take them into around to 3 cities, drop them off, and they come around in the evening and pick them back up. So it hasn't had a lot of hard use. It's not one of these stop and go, stop and go, stop and go buses. And so it's in really good shape. It's got the V10 engine, which just purrs like a kitten. I've got all of the service records for it since the day it was made. But I'd only got the thing partially painted. It was what's called Ford blue. And, ugly. And it really absorbed the heat. And most of your motorhomes are white for a good reason. One, it dissipates the heat, it reflects the sun. So I started back on doing that here after I had the fellas take those seats out. And I painted up as high as I could to the tops of the side windows and the rear end all the way up top. But I had to have one of those young guys come out and paint up and over the top slightly with that's with the gloss white Rust-Oleum oil-based paint. The bottom from the windows down, or the top of the windows down, is primer. And the reason I'm doing that in primer is because I've got some truck bed liner that's white. It's just really tough stuff. That's going to be down on the sides to keep the thing from getting scratched up if I'm driving down some trails. And then the top of the very top, center, front to back, hasn't been painted yet. My high school guy, he wanted to go over the bridge into the UP and do some fishing this weekend, or for a whole week and a half. And when he's coming back, he's going to paint the top with what's called Henry's Tropical, which will make this so that it's really reflects the sun up there. Got some other ideas for my solar. They're going to be on the driver's side on the flat below the windows. There's going to be 4 horizontal panels that are placed right tight to the side, and then flipped up on those will be 4 more panels on hinges. So when I get where I'm going, I can flop those down, and I can actually put those on a slight angle to help catch the sun a little bit better. A lot of your houses up here, I don't know where else, but up here, they just put their panels right flat on the side of their house. Not too many of them put them on their roof unless they got a roof that faces south. But the sun in the summer is, straight up or pretty close to straight up, but in the winter it's down low. Well, my intentions are to go down into Arizona during the winter when the sun is down closer to the horizon. So I think my panels will probably do as well, if not better, than the ones that are flat on top. I can't get up there to clean them, but I can certainly get on the side there and clean them easy. And I mean, it is easy peasy. On those that flip up, I'm going to protect the back sides of them so that when they're up there, someone doesn't go in there and clip all my wires and stuff. Protect it from stones as people drive by, whatever. Anyway, now let's take a little tour around the outside. And I invite you to watch my other 7 or 8 videos by now of the work I've been doing on the inside of the shuttle bus. And then also I'm going to be producing a video about handicap and elderly camping. And what I'll be doing is I'll be going through all of the available vehicles that have lift capabilities for wheelchairs or elderly. Things like vans, shuttle buses, school buses, and the 2 different manufacturers of motorhomes, Newmar and Winnebago. So there'll give you a lot of information there. If you're handicapped or elderly or know someone who is that would love to get out and camp, have them watch that video when it comes up. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get those videos automatically, and then you can guide them over to have them watch it. But subscribe, like my videos, make some comments, suggestions, whatever. And the way you find me is go to youtube.com/@TrampTraveler. Tramp Traveler is all one word. So youtube.com/@TrampTraveler. All right, hang on a minute here. We're going to go take a tour on the outside. This is it. The side window opens all the way up. And the rear window opens all the way up too. It's got a top air conditioner up there. I got to get that recharged. I just this morning finished painting. I'd had everything done except for the front hood. So hang on just a minute. We'll get around there. There we go on that. She's all white now. There's my handicap lift. Let me get set back. So go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@TrampTraveler, and watch all my videos. Encourage some elderly and handicapped people to watch this video first and then have them go back and watch my build. Talks about how I'm going to use my handicap lift for my shower. I'll just drop it down to floor level and hang a curtain all the way around it, be able to go out there and take my showers. Let that water fall right on the ground. It's just sweat and maybe a little dirt. Anyway, yeah. So like, subscribe, comment, youtube.com/@TrampTraveler, the @ symbol, okay? @TrampTraveler, no spaces. Thanks, and we'll catch you in the next one.